you've not stopped since. Just regarding sort of current events in the world, everyone knows what's going on regarding the pandemic, lockdown. One of the hardest hitting industries were hotels, leisure, serviced accommodation. How has your business been impacted, and how have you found this whole last 3 months or so? Have you had to change anything? What was the situation like?
So essentially, as probably everyone knows, it's difficult. It's been challenging for everyone, but it's what you do about it. Challenges are always going to be there in businesses, any business you run. So when you start a business, everyone should know that there are going to be challenges, ups and downs. That's what makes it a business. That's what makes it fun, right? If you get through it, that's when you're gonna be, you're gonna shoot to the sky. You're gonna make it. So what we had to do, we had to react quickly and efficiently when the last 3 months of lockdown that's happened. So we had to change some of our processes. We had to become leaner, increase marketing, such as we didn't do Facebook ads. So we started doing Facebook ads to target different types of clients, such as key workers. So one of the steps that we took was to target key workers, NHS staff, key workers that are working in supermarkets or on contracts that are here in the city. So we suddenly had to shift our model through different types of marketing and different types of advertising to fill our rooms. And we were up to 90% successful. Like, we managed to fill most of our rooms. Be it that we didn't make the profit that we were making, and that's just true across the industry. No one was making, if any, profit, but we managed to cover most of our overheads. We managed to cover most of our bills. So as you got to remember, in this type of business, the fixed overheads are quite high. Our fixed overheads are like over 15 to 17 grand a month, and we want to keep that relationship with our landlords, as much as I can. The reason I started the business was to make sure I have good relationship to grow a good business. I don't want 1 or 2 months to ruin the relationship with the landlords I have. Yes, you could get a rent deferral. Yes, you could not pay someone rent, but I did as best as possible to make sure that we paid people on time. All our employees, all the cleaners got paid on time, essentially by taking these actions of acting quickly and taking swift action.
Did you have to either, because I know obviously up and down the country you were getting a lot of people that were being furloughed. Did you have to lean up on the employee side? Did you have to lean up on the apartment side? What areas were you sort of like, you know what, we've got to keep our advertising because that's filling our rooms, but we might need to cut back a little bit on this?
So we had to let some of our staff go because of various reasons at that time, because of COVID, but we didn't need those services at that time because of COVID, because the customer demand had dropped. So yes, unfortunately, when the lockdown happened, I still remember making this call to one of my staff members and say, look, unfortunately, we just can't have you, we can't have you working. And it was done in the best way and the most nicest way as possibly can be done, but it's never a nice thing to tell someone, right? That's one. Yes, we had given maybe one or two apartments back due to the reason that we realized. So when people go through a business, go through hardships, you realize where you were wasting money, where you were doing wrong. One of the biggest lessons that we had, and I'm grateful that COVID happened in a way. My business is much leaner than it was before. So people, whether you're starting a business now, whether you've been in business for a few years, when bad things happen, I think we always should look at the positive and say, look, it's allowed me to rethink my strategy. It's allowed me to rethink where I want to be in the next 6 months or the next 2 years or 1 year, and what changes I need to make. Because yes, it was working. Yes, I was successful before, but there's always room for improvement. So essentially we changed some of our processes. We defined some of new processes so to be more efficient and more effective going forward. We increased our direct bookings leads. So it's something called direct bookings in a service accommodation, where you don't use different travel agents. You get your own leads through different forms of advertising. So one of the positives that happened, that we've got higher direct leads, which are converting into bookings, which we didn't have before.